You know, I watched that video of the CEO of the IDT, MALAKA, and that journalist PIETER. I watched it again. And as I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, what is it that are we missing here? Now, hear me out, hear me out. I'm not here to defend Utebuho. And, you know, the move that they did was quite stupid. To go on a public space like that and take out 60,000 rand in cash, I'm never going to defend that type of corruption. What got me when I was watching the video is that the part when the other guy comes in, the spokesperson, the journalist then cuts the sound and then he makes a voice over. Let's listen to it together and then we'll talk more about it. Come this side, Africans.
So I just want to close this chapter.
Yeah, no, sure.
And I think I will need you to close this chapter.
Yeah, no, sure.
It's too much.
Yes, yeah, no, there's been a lot.
I
Yeah.
have kids, I have parents. My parents are old. They were sick, they couldn't sleep over the last weekend. Because, it's bad.
Sure, no, absolutely, yeah, no.
Bad.
Yeah, so...
I just thought, because some of the things I can't speak in front of Pasha.
Oh.
As much as I trust him, I'm his boss.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, let me...
I was wondering about that. Now, did you decide beforehand to break up and then just me and you talk, or yeah?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, sure.
So you will advise me how we move forward.
Yes, so, okay, well, I think like, yeah, Pasha initiated the discussion with me, I think it was early June, and obviously at that point, I assume that's kind of the issue here is the waterfall house. I'm quite advanced with that, to be honest. I'll be frank with you.
I want it closed. I don't want you to be writing about it. I don't want anything more coming out of. Please for a moment.
Yeah, no, sure. Let me give Pasha a call.
My problem is, why are we cutting the sound here? Why are we cutting the sound here? Why can't we hear the sound here?
It's getting a little bit windier now.
But it's still not cold.
That's nice, yeah.
There.
Hey, Pasha.
We are done.
Yeah, your boss says you must come back.
The IDT spokesperson pulled out a white Dior shopping bag stuffed with 200 Rand notes and placed it on the table. This while his suspended boss sat looking on. I asked them how much money they brought for me, and they said it was 60,000 Rand. But they also intimated that there would be more money coming my way if I dropped my investigation into Malaka's house. After the cash had been placed on the table, I casually photographed it for our records. Next, I duly informed Malaka and Makhalane that I wouldn't be taking the alleged bribe after all. I told them that it had always been my intention to get them to present me with the cash, and that I had never intended to take it. And then just like that, our meeting was over. I promptly stood up and left. Makhalane and Malaka, meanwhile, were in a hurry to get out of there too. At roughly 2 p.m, they got up and left the restaurant area. So, what then of Malaka's waterfall property? The issue the IDT CEO so desperately wanted to bury.
Let me cut this video here. I think that PIETER, the journalist who did this expose, is probably going to win Journalist of the Year and be praised for the beautiful journalism that he's done in fighting corruption and all of that. That's okay. I wish in court, Abutebuho Malaka can request the entire soundbite of this whole thing. Because I'm interested to hear what are they saying when when the spokesperson comes. What is it? What are they saying? Because if you listen to what the Queen is saying, he's saying, no, I just want this to end. I want this to close. I want to close this chapter, everything. And he's just like, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So we don't know what has the conversation been prior to this. Maybe saying, hey guys, I've got this story. Do you guys want me to release it? Or can we make an arrangement? Can we talk something? You know, if a traffic cops comes and stand by the door, and then he says, listen, can you give me your license? And you're like, I'm long, I see a license, man. Let's just, I see 7 there is, it's Matala side. You initiated Your car could have a camera. You initiated, and you can block the sound there, then show us when you are taking your wallet and giving it to the traffic cop receiving that 200 rand and going. And you say traffic cops are corrupt. According to the videos, the visuals that we see, we can see clearly that what you are telling is true, but it's half of the truth. Come on, somebody must be thinking, why is it that the sound, why is it that you didn't leave the sound, the entire clip, because it's a short clip, the entire clip, and then after the clip, you give us your voice over? I don't know. You guys tell me. What if he's the one who asked, do you guys have my package? You know, what if he's the one who asked that? What if he's the one who's initiating this thing? So, PIETER MYBURGH, what's his surname? PIETER, if PIETER, this video comes to you, release the whole entire sound, my brother. Let us hear what is it that you are conversing with these people. Because the clip that you played for the entire country 100% favors your narrative that you are narrating there. 100%. Let us hear when the chairperson sat down. What did you say to him? Understand? For me, that is more important. Well, not more important than the bribery that happened. But I would like to hear. I would like to have that type of that sound bite also, so that I can have a full conclusive conclusion according to what happened there. That is me, my African people. Angas nina ntini. I just feel like this was a well orchestrated trap. Cameras put there at the back, microphone, everything mic'd up, everything so clean. But then when the guy with the money comes in, you don't play that sound bite. Why? Hi, Buffett. Again, I was watching Dr. Sizam Pofu Welsh, and he had UJJ Taban, one of my favorite people in South Africa, UJJ Taban. He's a really masterclass in media. We really appreciate having someone like him, a straight talker, a sharpshooter, and we should forever appreciate that man. And he said there were two ministers, Minister Nkresi and DN McPherson, who took him to the BCCA and the CCMA. Trying to get him to retract the statements that he said about them. Let's quickly listen to what UJJ Tabane said.
Maneuver. And if you are working for them full time, you're not an independent person who can tell them to go away, right? Then you have to think twice about your job, because they could make you to be on the streets very fast.
Yeah, very true. Well, let's hope we don't get regulated too soon, but we'll see what happens.
But don't you think there should be some guidelines at least?
Sure,
I mean, this thing that has happened with this podcast, and Mike G's now been dragged to court by Minnie Dlamini and what have you. Maybe maybe not particularly regulations as such, but a framework where you could actually guide people about how you could still exercise those freedoms, right? Without being disagreeable. I mean, I was on a I don't know if it was a podcast or what it is, where somebody just was swearing at me the whole morning. Is that what you would do on SABC? Not particularly.
I suppose there needs to be some kind of middle where I think the great thing about this moment is there's so much freedom that, yes, terrible things happen, but also beautiful things are being born outside of the rules. So we don't want to limit those things too much, but sure, you can't just go and do whatever you want and say whatever you want and expect no consequences. So
I think that our politicians in particular have managed to hide behind those strictures. I mean, I was taken to court by 2 ministers.
Wow.
No, out of 7, there were 2 ministers. So this minister, I think it was Minister Nkresi. Right? I called him incompetent. I called him incompetent, something I can repeat many times. And then he took me to CCMA and then wrote a long letter to say this is beyond freedom of expression. I'm not insulting. I'm just characterizing his work.
Sure.
You understand? So he goes to BCSA to say, no, but this guy is calling me incompetent. This is, and then they say to him, sorry, it's his opinion. Okay? Then my friend, Minister McPherson, sent me, also went to BCCA because I called him arrogant. And then he says that was hate speech. Believe it, I'm telling you, it's true. He went to BCCSA to take me to say to call him arrogant, because he was saying not under his, over his dead body will there be an implementation of the expropriation bill, right? So I said, but this is arrogant. How do you say that when you are part of a government, right?
Sure.
No, his case was that it's hate speech. I'm not joking with you.
Wow.
And I'm just giving you just 2 examples. I can spend the whole evening. I've been to BCCA more than 7-8 times over the last 2 years.
Let me tell you something. The day government starts in and jumping into the podcast world and start regulating everything is the day they're going to try to silence our voice as podcasters. That is the day. That is the day they're going to try and silence us all together so that we must not have opinion. Remember, we influence also the narrative in terms of what happens during elections. We challenge as podcasts what the mainstream media, the nonsense that they're vomiting on top of people, and they're forcing people to feed the news that they do. The half-truths that the mainstream media likes playing. We make sure that we give an honest, unkept view from people who would have never otherwise been on the mainstream TV. That's the people who are chasing. Politicians are more relaxed around podcasters because they feel like, you can't mess it. They are so free. They are so free. Listen, and politicians, sometimes they say things that backfire on them. I saw small clips of Penwell and Gayton McKenzie speaking about people who were threatening those children. I was like, oh God, Gayton, every time Gayton opens his mouth, every time, without fail, every time he opens his mouth, he incriminates himself. So I just hope that there's people that can really stand up against Gayton. Really. We have seen another side of a person, the hate that Gayton has for African people. He can't hide it anymore. I'm happy that there are colored people coming out and speaking out against the racism in the colored community and everything. But it's like the racism in the colored community, they want to invite black people to say, come guys, come, let us call you the K word, but don't be offended because we are also black. And okay, let's leave the Gayton thing. Anyways, I was making a point to say, in podcasts, everyone is so free. You don't know the conversations we have before camera in the podcast. Sometimes politicians and whoever the guest might say, anything, ask me anything. Sometimes they might say, okay, ask me this. Sometimes podcasters might send questions beforehand and all of those things. So podcast is a free world. It's a free world. We do agree. You cannot say things that are going to racially discriminate other people and things that are going to make people angry. But at least the podcast world represents a majority of people in terms of viewership. If you look at the viewership numbers, it's uncomparable sometimes. There's podcasters that beat SABC, ENCA, and whatever. In whatever topic that they speak on, there's podcasts that beat those topics. And people just like consuming informal presentations, processes like, the way SABC is doing, that person is at work. He has to sing for his bread. He will never speak anything against the guest that is there unless if the channel itself is trapping the guest there and all of those things. So our Minister McPherson taking people to the BCCA and the CCMA and all of those things is something that we are going to start seeing happen in the coming months. Don't forget that King said so. It's gonna happen, especially leading to the elections 2026 and 2029. You're gonna start seeing politicians challenging podcasters like ourselves who challenge the nonsense that they speak in the public, and we say this is wrong. They're gonna start coming and saying, no, that is hate speech, that is what, and they won't be doing it just in jail to get you a guilty verdict. They will just be doing it to silence you, to frustrate you, to challenge you, to see, do you have lawyers? Do you have a ground to stand? Do you understand what you said? Do you understand your rights and everything of that nature? Because we tell them the podcast world is already regulated. YouTube is checking our things, I promise you. And TikTok. They are checking. There's other things that you say, they will send you a message, they will flag you and say, not allowed to say this, hate speech, misinformation, and all of those things. Those things are already in place in the podcast space, ladies and gentlemen. Understand? But the people want stricter restrictions for everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on King Say So. Don't forget to click the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, leave your thoughts on the comment section, and let's meet on the next one. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child, do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace and Pan-Africanism. I salute.